This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time. Ready to shine. Brighter than all of the lights. Cause when it's game time, seconds away and the game's on the line. There ain't no doubt in my mind. Beating the buzzer like, this is my time. This is my time. This is my time.
Welcome to your Atlanta United 2 postgame show here on the SDH Network. John Nelson here with you, batting lead off. Over the next little bit, we're going to catch you up on MLS Next Pro After Dark. And when Jason had that call and that reference in the second half with the match that was going on here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium tonight with Atlanta United 2 and New England Revolution 2, he was not kidding. It was a tale of two 45s. Atlanta United 2 with a commanding lead after the first 45. Then back comes New England Revolution 2, and Atlanta United 2, after 90 minutes, had a 3-0 lead, had to hang on at 3-2, and that was your final score as Atlanta United 2 leaves the fraction with full points tonight. Coming up here in the postgame show, we'll go over stats. We'll give you the goals from the evening, and we hope to hear from head coach Steve Cooke, Karim Tmimi, Alan Carleton, and whomever else that Madison Cruz and Jarrett Smith can grab in the underneath the stands in the north stands here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. All right, let's get you through what happened on the board in the first 45 minutes. It was Atlanta United 2. First, Javi Armas puts a shot over the bar in the first minute, but then New England pretty much had a decent run of possession and dominance, and then Eric Centeno and Karim Tmimi combined, and they made it 1-0. That was in the 13th minute. Then it was another attack by Karim Tmimi, Cooper Sanchez, Alan Carleton combining, but it ended up being saved by New England. Then 36th and 39th minute in the first half, 2 goals. Alan Carleton gets a brace, and that would make it 3-0. That would be your margin right there after the first 45 minutes. Atlanta United 2 having the dominant numbers there after the first 45. And then, as we mentioned, in the second 45, it was a goal in the 48th that made it 3-1. Then Dominic Chongqui is called for a penalty, and then Jaden Hibbert saves it to keep it at 3-1, but then you end up with another goal on the board by Alex Moniz, the leading goal scorer for New England Revolution 2. That one made it 3-2 with 20 to go, and Atlanta United 2 hangs on in the second 45 for the 3-2 win. Stats over the 90 minutes. 27 shots for New England, 20 of those in the second 45 minutes. So it was 7 plus 20, 27 shots on the night for New England Revolution 2, only 12 for Atlanta United 2. Shots on goal, 7 for Atlanta United 2, 10 for New England Revolution 2. Jaden Hibbert had 7 saves in the second half alone, finished with 8 on the night for Atlanta United 2. 5 blocks for the Revs compared to 1 for Atlanta United 2. Atlanta United 2 not credited with any corners on the night. 5 for New England Revolution 2 on the night. 11-10 in crosses for New England Revolution 2. Only 1 offside call on the night, and that went to the Revolution as well. 7 saves in the second half, officially listed as 7 saves by MLSNextPro.com. We had him for 7 in the second half alone, 1 in the first half for 8. Listed as 7 at MLSNextPro.com. 4 saves on the night for New England Revolution 2 and J.D. Gunn. Clearances on the night, 11 for Atlanta United 2, most of those in the second 45, compared to 3 for New England Revolution 2. Fouls on the night, 22 were called by the man in the middle, Alejo Kalume. 12 for Atlanta United 2, 10 for New England Revolution 2. The 1 yellow card on the night went to Eric Centeno. So obviously with 3 goals for Atlanta United 2, 7 shots on target, 4 off target, 10 on target for New England Revolution 2 on the night, and 9 off target. Other action, before we go to break, other action in MLS Next Pro tonight. It's a fairly light night. 4 matches on the board. Chattanooga FC and Toronto FC 2. The next opponent, by the way, for Atlanta United 2, and it is in 8 days' time. 1-1 draw after 90 minutes. CFC won that one 5-3 on PKs, so each team leaves with a point. Chattanooga FC leaves with the extra point. Orlando City B at Truist Point beats Carolina Core by the final of 2-1. One matchup out west, and that one is heading to the half at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium. Right now, Colorado Rapids 2 and Dynamo Dos, Houston Dynamo 2. That one is goalless as they are in the 45th minute, heading into a very, very busy schedule tomorrow. 5 matches on the board in MLS Next Pro, starting at 3 o'clock Eastern Time and finishing up at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. A lot of the action is in the Western Conference. That sets the table for us here on the postgame show, presented by our friends at Kaiser Permanente. Kaiser Permanente, for all that is you. When we come back after this timeout, we'll bring Jason back in, get his thoughts on what happened in a very, very interesting, and that's the word that we'll use, win for Atlanta United 2, a tale of two halves. You're listening to the Atlanta United 2 postgame show on the SDH Network. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
Planning to get dirty? Remember this before you pick up that shovel. Always contact 811 before you dig. Whether you're a homeowner planting a tree or an excavator breaking ground, contact 811 to avoid hitting underground utility lines. Contacting 811 is free, easy, and keeps you safe. So, before you dive into those outdoor projects, save yourself the trouble and headache of costly repairs by dialing 811 or visiting Georgia811.com. Message brought to you by Georgia 811.
At Alliance Nurse Corps, there's an understanding of the sacrifices it takes to be a nurse in today's world. With over 30 years of experience, they've put in the time to understand what it takes to find the perfect fit and what today's nurses desire most. Alliance works hard to ensure higher than industry standard pay rates, loyalty rewards, and will do whatever it takes to find the best fit for you and your happiness. Visit AllianceNurseCorpsInc.com/job board to start your journey to the nursing position that's perfect for you.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Did you know the Georgia Department of Driver Services offers digital driver's licenses and IDs? A Georgia digital driver's license and ID can be added to your Apple Wallet and Google Wallet. It's easy to add to your phone and a great way to safeguard your information. Customers receive push notifications on their device when there are changes to their driving record. The Georgia Department of Driver Services is committed to using cutting-edge technology to protect your personal information. Learn more at dds.georgia.gov.
Welcome back to the Atlanta United 2 postgame show here from Fifth Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw. Atlanta United 2, 3-2 winners over New England Revolution 2 here in MLS Next Pro, as Atlanta United 2 returned home after having 7 of 9 on the road. And they get all of 2 at home. This one in 8 days' time against Toronto FC 2. Here's the conversation that Madison Cruz and Jarrett Smith had with Atlanta United 2 head coach Steve Cooke after the match.
Yeah, interesting. You know, I've sat in front of you all here many a time and talked about we were a bit hard done by, and but I felt tonight we've got out of there, we got out of jail for free, because all through the game I don't think we played that well. First half, obviously we've scored goals. I think we were a bit flattered by the scoreline. And then second half, obviously we conceded early, and then I'm just really disappointed with that. You know, it's funny, you come in, you win 3-2. From that standpoint, you're pleased for the players because they've got a win, but I don't think we can take too much comfort from the overall performance. Certainly defensively, I thought we were poor all night. Yeah, we're going to have to regroup and take a look at this one tomorrow and see where we go, you know, because we've got Toronto coming into town, and another performance like that, and it likely won't be the same result. So we've got to do some progressing this week.
And I mean, just coming off, we got to talk about Alan Carleton.
Yeah.
The way that he came out and he made a statement, getting his first professional goal. How have you seen him progress from the beginning of the season to now, and just seeing the player that he's becoming to?
Yeah, he was one of the real positives. I mean, I love Alan. He's a brilliant kid. As a person, he's exceptional. And we've actually been encouraging him a lot more to shoot and to go forwards, because he's technically is absolutely fantastic, and I just think sometimes he's more he seems happier giving other people the limelight and giving other people the attempts at goal, and I think I was really pleased for him tonight just to take the opportunity. He's a fantastic player technically, and his game understanding is outstanding. I think he's 19, but he's not fully grown by any stretch of the imagination physically, and I think he's got some really excellent days to come. I think in the next 2 or 3 years he's going to be an exceptional player. He's an asset to any team with the ball. He's absolutely terrific, and I'm so pleased for him that he gets to show who he is, that he gets to get the limelight. Probably man of the match, I would have thought he's been awarded. I don't know, but I'm assuming he has been. And it's much deserved, not just for tonight, but for all of his performances. And every single day he comes to work and is arguably the best or one of the best every single day in training. So I can't speak highly enough of Alan Carleton. Any coach, any team would be very fortunate to have a player like that in the team.
I want to also ask about Karim as well. He obviously got a goal on tonight, but I want to lean more towards his leadership and what he's been able to do, not only on the pitch but off of it. I even saw when he was subbed off, he's over there on the sideline with you guys, just watching intently, being that. What are those conversations like when he's out there being a coach almost on the field but also off of it when he's on the bench and helping some of those guys? Yeah,
Karim scored a great goal, lovely finish tonight, and that really got the ball rolling for us in the first half. And I think no player wants to come off ever or be on the bench ever. But I think Karim understands his role, and he understands this team, and that we're going to put young players in the game, and we're going to, maybe finish with, it's a bit like a heart attack for me, but we've got 6 or 7 teenagers on the field at the end, and they've not really been in that situation very often at all. And when you're looking at a young group finishing out a game 3-2, to come off the field and win the game is actually, for me, the positive environment of this, because I think when you're making those subs, it can get a bit disjointed and a bit disorganised, and I think we saw that a little bit. But credit to the players, they kept working, they kept running. It wasn't a lack of effort. I just thought it was a lack of quality with the ball, and then some just average 1v1 defending and positioning that let them back into it. But to answer your question, Karim did really well tonight, and any time a forward gets a goal, they've had a good game. So again, pleased for him, and glad that we could get the win as well.
The last few times we've seen this team hang on to wins, especially with those young guys. How hard is it for you to teach guys how to win and how to finish things off how to do it without just throwing them in there and having them do it in the moment?
That's a heck of a question. How do you teach people to win? They've got to be in these situations a lot more. I think you have to encourage it every single day. We do that, but I think we need to do much more of that right the way through the club, where winning becomes the expectation, winning becomes the habit, winning becomes also very much part of development, and not only team development but their individual player development. And players who can see games out like that are worth a lot of money to coaches who want to keep the jobs. And when they go into MLS with 70,000 people in the stadium, to have that ability to stick in and keep results positive like that, even when you're not playing well, but to clear things off the line, get a header, get a block in, and do the running that you have to do to make it all possible, and really put yourself on the line and do things that maybe you're not comfortable with, I think is really good for them. And I hope that in our academy, younger down, we can actually emphasise that much more, because it's not just about playing nice football, it's also about grinding out results and developing that winning mentality and attitude all the time. And to develop that properly, you've got to be in these situations all the time, and you've got to do it every single day. It's not just a tap you can turn on, on a Saturday night when the lights are on. It's got to be every single day, and that's got to be your mentality all the time.
Last one for me was about Cooper Sanchez. You give 16-year-old a start tonight, 45 minutes. Your impression on his performance? Yeah,
really good again, Cooper. He's only 16. He's an under 16. That is his true age group in this next academy season. So he's very young, and tonight was the first start we gave him. It's at home. We've given him minutes. And I thought, there were times when he didn't quite get the pace of the game, because when you're going on with 15, 20, 30 minutes to go and the game's slowed down and it's got really stretched, and there's a lot of spaces. I think it's good for a kid like Cooper to go in, but we wanted to give him a start. He went in, and I think he found it a little bit more difficult than normal, and the pace of the game is much quicker. But make no mistake, Cooper Sanchez is a top-class player. I echo anything I said about Alan Carleton, about his technical ability, his tactical understanding, and the fact that he trains hard every day and is an unbelievably good person. I can say the same thing about Cooper Sanchez as I said about Alan Carleton. They are two really, really top players and really top human beings. Cooper, I think he's got a really bright future. There are some things in his game he's got to really button down, which, you know, more on the defensive end and maybe some game management situations at times, but I think Cooper's got a really, really bright future.
Steve Cooke on Cooper Sanchez, on Alan Carleton, on Karim Tmimi, and getting a bit of a heart attack after what happened tonight, understandably so, with what happened with Atlanta United 2. Kudos for Alan Carleton, saying that he's one of the best in training, great human being as well, and giving the Man of the Match award. He thinks it was given the Man of the Match award for all of the performances, kind of all-encompassing, but tonight, obviously, for what we saw from Alan Carleton. Here's the conversation that Maddie and Jarrett got to have with the Man of the Match, Alan Carleton.
Hey, Alan, so first 2 goals tonight, brace in the first 45. I mean, just general thoughts on that.
Nah, it felt good. Obviously, my first 2 career goals, and they happened back-to-back. It was crazy. My mind was still going kind of crazy from the first one, so I had to, like, calm it down when Rodrigo played me that pass. Everything was just going so fast, but it felt good. I was so excited.
You guys played, you and Karim kind of played in wider positions tonight than you normally do. How was the adjustment like for you guys in kind of filling in those positions?
Yeah, it was different. We really emphasized that like this week in training. We wanted to give it just a different look because our team doesn't really have many wingers, as you like natural wingers. So just trying people in different spots, and that's kind of just what we got to do. I mean, we're used to different players coming down, so got to get used to playing different positions sometimes.
I want to ask about the first goal for you.
Mm-hmm.
What did you see in the build-up to that, and just what's going through your mind? You get the ball, and you just go for it. Yeah,
there's something actually we were talking about in training all week is when we get the ball on like the right side, like kind of the opening spaces will also like vice versa. Cooper, like he'd get it on the right side, I get it on the left side. So when we get it, we just got to go quick. And I just seen the wing back was kind of cutting off Dom on the overlap. So just come inside and I don't know, I just thought, why not have a hit? And it worked out.
I also want to ask too about Neri and the way he's really adjusted into the team, especially with that one pass he delivered to you to give you your second goal.
Mm-hmm.
How has he really been fitting into the team in the short time that he's been here, and him having that performance and that assist to you and just cluing you guys in on that?
I mean, it's been great. I mean, he's played, like 3 games, not even like a full 270 minutes, and he's got 2 goals and an assist. So he's doing well, but he just gives us that, like, the long ball out of the air. He can just bring it down, and he's so composed on it. Like when he's holding up the 2 people to then switch it over to me, he just does a great job with that. Really technical.
We see you so much in the midfield, especially this year with like Noble and Javi, and just playing with them and just kind of shuttling the ball back and forth and getting the team in and out of attack. I want to ask about how your development has been in terms of like manipulating space, like the way you manipulate the space around defenders and kind of free up space so that you can get the ball off your foot and start triggering other things, and how you've kind of grown mentally in the game.
Yeah, it helps with them kind of just keeping the ball with each other. Everybody's eyes kind of just look at them, so I can kind of work off that while he's kind of, my defender's like ball watching. Kind of, I can just sneak into different spots, and I've been using like little counter movements that I've seen in training with Thiago Almada, just moving around, kind of just faking out defenders with his off-the-ball movement. It's been something I've been trying to use this year.
Alan Carleton with Jarrett Smith and Madison Cruz in the north end zone here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. When we come back, the postgame show continues here on the SDH Network. You'll get your highlights, and we'll bring Jason in to get his observations from a wild night here. Action at the Fraction was over the top. So that is the postgame show continuing a little bit after this. Brought to us by our friends at Kaiser Permanente. Kaiser Permanente, for all that is you. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
Where do my friends and other students find their voice? We find our voice through the performing arts, along with millions of other high school students. By expressing yourself in a role on stage, through an instrument, or at the debate podium, the performing arts give us freedom to find ourselves, to find our place. The stage is where I can play, perform, and compete with my friends.
Performing arts at your school is where creativity meets courage. Encourage the students in your life to find their voice through the performing arts. This message presented by the NFHS, where we encourage all students to play, perform, and compete together.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
At Alliance Nurse Corps, there's an understanding of the sacrifices it takes to be a nurse in today's world. With over 30 years of experience, they've put in the time to understand what it takes to find the perfect fit and what today's nurses desire most. Alliance works hard to ensure higher than industry standard pay rates, loyalty rewards, and will do whatever it takes to find the best fit for you and your happiness. Visit AllianceNurseCorpsInc.com/job board to start your journey to the nursing position that's perfect for you.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Georgia at highschoolofficials.com.
A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yep, he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
Welcome back to the postgame show here on the SDH Network, brought to us by our friends at Kaiser Permanente. Kaiser Permanente for all that is you. Let's go through the highlights of a wild night here in Kennesaw. Started off once again, first minute, Javi Armas with a shot over the bar, literally in the first minute. Then New England would take charge off of a lot of Atlanta United 2 turnovers. Then, after about 5 or 6 minutes of the Revolution 2 taking control, Atlanta United 2 would have a chance in the 9th minute.
Centeno out wide. Tmimi will hit the brakes and spin it back to Armas. Armas will play it wide to Centeno. Cross from Eric Centeno, knocked down. Follow-up cross, volleyed in, header over the bar from Cooper Sanchez.
You got to hear the conversation, the questions from Matty Cruz and from Jarrett Smith about Cooper Sanchez, who got the start tonight up top for Atlanta United 2. So Cooper Sanchez with that early chance. 4 minutes later, Atlanta United 2 would end up with a goal on the board. Once again, mama, there's that man again, Eric Centeno, starting things off.
He'll drive it up the right side to Centeno. Brings it down nicely. Takes off towards the end line. Eric Centeno, cross, top of the 6. Goal! 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 A peach from Eric Centeno. And it's headed home by Karim Tmimi.
4th assist on the season for Eric Centeno, the 7th goal on the year for Kareem the Dream, and that would make it 1-0 in the 13th minute. Then New England Revolution 2 tried to chase after an equalizer, and they would lean on their leading scorer, Alex Moniz, with a chance 4 minutes later.
Not sure if that went off the post or the base of the goal frame. Jaden Hibbert was diving to that side, did not get a touch, so it's a goal kick. Moniz nearly equalizes for New England. He's already got 6 goals on the year.
So Moniz with the chance in the 17th. Then you end up with an Atlanta United 2 attack with Karim Tmimi combining with Cooper Sanchez and Alan Carleton. That was saved by J.D. Gunn in the 24th. the corner for the Revs that was headed clear in the 30th. Then you had Jaden Hibbert coming up big again off an opportunity from Liam Butts in the 34th. And then it was the Alan Carleton show for a couple of minutes. How about a golazo in the 36th?
Overlapping run from Chong Kui into the attacking half now. Alan Carleton, 25 yards from goal, cuts in on the right foot, launches a golazo! Goal! 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 Alan Carleton picked that one out. A rocket from Alan Carleton. And Atlanta leads 2-0.
Jason was not fibbing. That was an absolute golazo. And then, not to be outdone, how about another one about a minute later?
Into the attacking half, crossed in. Opportunity here for Atlanta. Carleton, goal! 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 Alan Carleton with a second. 3-0 Atlanta.
And that would be the score at the intermission, 3-0. But then the second 45 would be New England Revolution 2. Welcome home, Liam Butts with a goal in the 48th.
Moni's a former Chicago Fire homegrown, didn't get his deal renewed and moved to New England with Revs 2 at the beginning of this season. He's back on it now. Moni's with the cross, volleyed home, goal, 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 New England. Liam Butts with his first professional goal, and New England cuts into the lead. It's 3-1 Atlanta now.
So then here comes New England Revolution 2, but then Jaden Hibbert a couple of minutes later after Dominic Chong Kui is called for a penalty inside the 18. Jaden Hibbert put a bit of a slow on that.
Moniz wasn't even going in the direction of the end line, but he draws a penalty and he goes to the spot to take it. Jaden Hibbert's in goal for Atlanta. Moniz, save Hibbert! Hibbert tries to run it down, dives forward and gets to it. Moniz stays on his feet this time in contact with Hibbert. And there's an old saying that the ball doesn't lie.
That is absolutely true. Ball don't lie. The second of 7 second-half saves for Jaden Hibbert kept it at 3-1. That was until about 20 minutes to go, and then Alex Moniz adds to his total for being the leading goal scorer for the Revs 2 here in 2024.
For New England. Launch down the middle. Diaz, he'll turn. He'll drive forward. Passes it around Chong Kui. Moniz, one hopper, gets through Hibbert. Goal, 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 New England, and it's 3-2.
Jaden Hibbert's probably going to want that one back, but 20 minutes of survival for Atlanta United 2 in the second 45, and that would be your final score as we bring Jason back in. Have you recovered yet, partner?
Yeah, I think I've caught my breath. That second half was insanity.
So, obviously, we talked about it being a tale of two halves, but...
I hate that cliche,
I know, but it was.
It was.
And you have, let's see, where do you want to start? You want to start with Hibbert? Do you want to start with Carleton? Do you want to start with what Steve Cooke said? There's a lot of ground you can cover here. Take your pick.
I'll start with Steve. I mean, I think he's dead on in talking about this, and I thought Jarrett's question about how you teach a team and young players how to win, I think that's something that you have to go through these kind of games. I kind of alluded to it in the second half. Like, Steve Cooke's never going to want his team to throw away a 3-goal lead.
I remember that, yeah.
But you do get some extra things you can take out of this because of what you have to deal with. And Jaden Hibbert's a prime example. I mean, Hibbert makes a big penalty save. He also, it's a goal that he's definitely going to want back. That is something he's got to keep out. He's got to have his form right there. He's got to get his body behind a difficult shot, but a savable shot. But he made up for it with some big saves down the stretch. So it's one of those things where you get lessons in a win that can be more impactful than learning things from a loss, if that makes sense. Yeah. You're more receptive to hearing things after. You're going to get the 3 points. You're going to climb in the standings. You're going to get that benefit. When you lose a match, if this game goes against you and you throw it away, there's not much you can talk about afterwards. It's literally like you're done. You want to go home. You want to go underneath the sheets and not show up until Monday. Right. Like, it's bad. But the way this went down, it's okay. Good things. Good first half. Really good performance from Alan Carleton. Some other I thought Caden Moore was excellent tonight. Really good performances.
Also mistakes. Also, look, in some of these moments, you've got to find ways to handle it better. The game was getting a little out of hand. The game was getting to where New England had control of it. Atlanta was on their heels. Young players have to learn in those moments. Don't go on your heels. You got to find a way to be on the front foot in those moments, whether it's clattering into somebody in the middle third, whether it's committing that foul to prevent a more opportune thing happening the other way. Whatever you've got to do to find a way to grind out the result. So you get to point out some things if you're Steve Cooke and his coaching staff to, hey, we got the result. We got the 3 points. This is something to celebrate. Don't like how we got there. This is something we can learn from. And that's the balance that you want here. We've got the last bit of audio from downstairs from Maddie and Jarrett. They caught up with the opening goal scorer, Karim Tmimi, and let's hear from him downstairs right about now.
Perfect. Awesome. So I asked Alan, I'm going to ask you as well. You guys were playing in a little bit of a wider positions than you guys normally do. How did you guys adjust to that change?
I'm an offensive player. I never said I'm only a forward. I can play 9.5. I can play right, left wing. During my career, I played this position, so that's not a problem for me. It was also about the opponent. We're observing them the first 15 minutes and see what will bother them the most. And I think me staying a little bit wild will confuse the left back, and that's what happened. And when we were switching from one side to another one, it was really efficient. So I stayed on this side, and I think I did pretty well because I got a goal. Alan got 2 goals as well. So I think that the coaches as well, we have to give them credit sometimes, and they did a great job because they studied the opponent weakness and it worked, and we're happy with that.
There's been a lot of young players in the roster, especially in the last game against Huntsville. You had 4 16-year-olds. 2 of them played 90 minutes. Same thing tonight as well. Including all of them and being one of the leaders on the team, how has it been to really incorporate them and having them learn from you guys as well?
It's their program at the end. MLS Next Pro, it's made for that. It's to push the one that they are finishing academy to go to the next level, to go pre-professional, professional, and then maybe go to first team and another way. So it's been pretty well. I'm really happy for them because at the beginning it was really hard. There's always a transition when you come from U17, 19 to pro, and they've been doing well. We have a lot of young players. I think they're the majority now. We're the minority, so we have to create energy that really match with the experienced one and with the spontaneity that they can bring because they're really young. And they've been doing pretty good, and I think it's only the beginning. Sky's the limit, like we say, and they have a bright future.
I know tonight the second half was a little bit rocky after the first half. How hard is it, I know you being a more veteran player who's played at different levels, to teach these younger guys how to win a game, how to see it out, and how to finish things?
So I think since I came here in Atlanta, this have been our weakness. We lost a lot of points when we were leading and winning. We knew that it's going to happen. We knew that the last game that New England played, they were losing 4-5-0. They came back to 5-4 in the second half. So the coach warned us. The thing that we have to work on is to control the momentums. When we have to suffer together, when sometimes we have to play and sometimes we have to be a little bit more ugly, clearing the ball and bring the block higher and play the second ball. That's what we have to learn. Fortunately today, we still got the 3 points. We're lucky, if you want to be honest. If they were more efficient, I think they could have come back. But it was some games that we played really well and we lost, so we won't complain to that.
And then I want to ask about playing with Dom on the left-hand side with you, and you talked about with the kids in there. I wanted to ask about how he's gotten up to speed, because I know the jump in the speed of the game and the speed at which guys move at this level is such a difference.
So Dom is different than the other players because I don't think they expected him to be that good that early, because I think he was more in the second zone player to maybe step up. He got his chance. It was one game, he came in, he did really good, and he proved that he has his place here and the level to play. and he got a lot of practice with us. That's why also make you get the rhythm and get used to it. There is some players that they barely practiced with us and they jump right away on starting games for us. I think that's the hardest thing to do. So that's why Dom, I think he took time to observe, to feel like the speed of the game, and now he's fully adapted and integrated on the team and the level.
Karim Tmimi in the post-game press conference with Jarrett and Maddie. Second week in a row, Jason, that you get to learn something with a lot of young guys out there on the pitch at the end.
Yeah, so many teenagers on the field at the end of that. And, you know, I think what Steve Cooke said about you've got to go through these moments to know how to get through these moments. And Karim kind of, gets to it as well. This is a team that in the past has not been strong enough in those moments. You get the lead last week, you have to hold off the opponent. You get the lead here, you have to hold off the opponent. Do you want to hold them off better in the future? Yeah. Do you want to, 3 goals, you should be able to put the game away with a third.
Yeah.
You end up needing that third, but you shouldn't have had to sweat it as much. But it's good that you do find a way to win back-to-back. It's good that you find a way to get 6 points. This is a team that, for whatever reason, they haven't played a lot of games on Saturday.
Yeah.
But they're 3-1-1 on Saturdays this season.
Schedule makers, think about this.
Can we just get them on Saturdays a lot this year? I don't know what it is. Just a normal week? I have no idea. But this is also a team that's starting to get a little bit of a rhythm, and that's what's good to see. Rodrigo Neri is fitting into this group. And Tmimi talked about it, the idea to put Carleton and Tmimi on the wing. They're unorthodox kinds of wingers. They're going to tuck inside. I think we all have to adapt to where the game is in 2024. Guys don't play one position anymore. Guys don't stand in one spot of the field. You have to have players who can play moments. You have to have players who can take advantage of opportunities that the opponent gives them, that their team system gives them, whatever it is. Karim Tmimi is a good soccer player. So if you put him in that situation where he's on the right side, tucked in a little bit, that gives Centeno space to go forward. That's going to be a problem for the opponent. You do it the opposite side, and Carleton talked about it on his goal. Chonqui makes the run. He's got that space. Carleton cuts inside on the right foot, takes advantage of the opportunity. Good soccer players take advantage of the opportunities that are presented to them. Good defensive soccer players handle their business one way or another. I thought Caden Moore showed a lot of that tonight. I thought Ramsey Kawazmi was good as well. The 2 goals you give up, the first goal's a good one from them. The penalty, I didn't like the call to begin with. There's not a lot of contact. Moniz goes looking for it. He gets it. It's the biggest call that I didn't like that the referee gave on the night. Hibbert stands up. He makes a bad mistake on the second goal. That's one that he can't allow, but he makes up for it with multiple saves after it. So anybody who made mistakes on the field, they made up for it. And that's the kind of spirit and heart that you want. Now you can clean up some of the tactical things. Now you can clean up some of the other elements to it. I'll give you the other kind of unsung hero tonight, Stephen Herlock. He comes on late, and he is a very attack-minded player. He dropped deep a lot to defend. He also was the one who took it into the corner trying to hold off defenders.
Yep.
He did all those little things. And if you're Steve Cooke and his coaching staff, I'm sure you're going to highlight to other young players, look at what this guy, who is known for what he does in the attacking third, look at what he did overall to help this team get 3 points tonight.
5th win of the season for Atlanta United 2, and the team that is coming in next on the 11th of August is only 1 point ahead of them in the standings. Right now you've got this group of Toronto FC 2, Carolina Core, and Atlanta United 2 right there hanging around each other, 22, 22, and 21. So it's another chance for the twos to get points and actually do it at home for a change, even though it won't be on a Saturday. Very, very busy day today. Busy day tomorrow in MLS Next Pro. Busy day in Leagues Cup tomorrow for Atlanta United. Parent Club taking on Santos Laguna. Must-win situation, trying to get out of group and get into the knockouts in Leagues Cup here in 2024. Big thanks to Dom Churosky, by the way, at 92.9 The Game for chopping up the highlights so we can have those here in the post-game show for Atlanta United 2 and the 3-2 win. So Jason and Michael have the call tomorrow afternoon. a little after 4 o'clock kick for Atlanta United and Santos Laguna from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Pre-game with Abe and Garrett kicks off at 3, and then the full-time report after that. So for Maddie, for Jarrett, for Jason, I'm just John. Thanks, as always, for hanging out with us here on the Postgame Show with Atlanta United 2, presented by our friends at Kaiser Permanente. Big win for Atlanta United 2 tonight. Played safe, everybody. Thanks for coming in. We'll see you next time.